in this sketch, we're going to use the XY array demo, but we're going to create an object, input it in an array, and see what the difference is there. So an object can be written down here at the bottom. And you can imagine an object as being its own, like having its own set of rules and its own commands. So this is slightly different from like creating a function. You're actually creating an object. So the way that you would write that is by writing class, and I'm going to make it a square class. And then you just put square. You don't need to put these open close parentheses for class. And you'll do the open close squiggly bracket. And inside of this class, the object has 3 parts. And the first one is the constructor, which you can imagine the constructor as being like the same as like the setup function up here at the top. That's where we're gonna like declare all of our elements of our object. And then we've got the update. That's where we're going to change elements in our object, like if we wanted to change color or speed. And then the display, and that's for what we want to show. So like if our object is a square, we'll declare that the square, what the square is here in the display. So we've got objects are made using class, square, no parentheses, constructor, update, display. This is an empty object. So you can now come in and fill in what you want here. So let's see, this dot x equals 0, this dot y equals 0, just in case I wanted to change the x, y location. And I'm also going to do this dot s for size equals 0 for right now, because I may want to change the x, y location and size. And then in the update, let's just do this dot s plus equals 1. So the size grows if this dot s is greater than 100. So I want it to do something very similar to what the ellipses are doing. If the size grows greater than 100, then this dot s equals negative this dot s. So that's how I want to update my object. And then displaying the object will just be square, well, rect mode, center for all of them, and square at this dot x, this dot y, and this dot s. So it'll be placed at 0, 0, and its size will start at 0, but then grow. Actually, I want it to start at 20. Okay, so save that. So now we've created our object. In order to put it in our draw function, the way to do this, up at the top, I want to create an array, another array, let square array equal empty array. And in the setup, we could do square array equals new square width divided by 2, height divided by 2. Square array. We're going to need to make a for loop here. So let I equals 0, semicolon, I is less than 5, semicolon, I plus plus. Cool, in this for loop, so we've got an empty array here for our object. We're filling the array with the for loop and giving it 5 pieces or elements, and then we're saying square array equals, and then this is where we say new object. It equals a new object in the center. So it is, drawing it at the width divided by 2, height divided by 2. Okay, last thing that we need to do here is to come over in our draw and display the object array. So square array dot, if you go back down to the object, we have update and display. So here we'll put dot update, and we need to also just go ahead and create another for loop. So I don't think we have to put let for all of them, but I'm just doing it. Let I equals 0, if I is less than, and here we'll just put square array dot length. If I is less than the length of it, which is 5 right now, then I plus plus. Put that I in our square array so it has something to update. And then square array, open close bracket with an I in it, dot display. Okay, so it's drawing up in at the 0, 0 here. So instead, I want my object to be drawn like the circle is being drawn. We're currently not pushing anything in the square array, so we have to push a new square. So mouse clicked, square push, a new square. We need to come down and change our object to mouse X, mouse Y. Wonderful. Okay, so long story short, the difference here is that by making a, let's offset it just slightly. We actually don't have to do that because, okay, so we're telling it where to go down here. So it's just pushing a new one and they're all going to be at mouse X, mouse So we can offset here, plus 100, plus 100. Cool. Woo! And get rid of the circles. So let's just add more. Screw it. Okay, so here we can see that an object, when we place it, it's gonna not, like the circles are not an object, the squares are an object. So the difference being you just get more variation and each one has its own life and they're not like bound to each other. So I'm just gonna draw like a bunch. And get rid of the circles. Now it's just the squares. So you've got this pretty cool drawing going, or animation. That looks like a little bit more organic. And so objects are really fun and useful, and you can use arrays to, like, you know, just continue pushing more, like more of the objects out, and use for loops to add many at one time, or even you can make a grid or whatever. But that is now officially the end of the array tutorial, and I look forward to seeing what y'all make with it.